Hey everybody, today is February 16th and this is update number 5. In this update, I'm going to show you a few things that we did last week, sort of like a continuation. I'm going to show you the clone and what it looks like today. I basically cut that plant in half because I ran out of space, but it's still doing really well and producing very nicely. Then I'm going to show you the Scotch bonnet that I'm entering in the contest and how well it looks. Then I will also show you the result of the plants that we topped last week. And another thing I would like to show you is why you should top the plant instead of cutting leaves off. And I did that on purpose to show you, so I'll cover that subject in a little bit. But anyway, let me pull the plants out and then I will show you what they look like today. Okay, here are what the plants look like. They're growing much faster than I would like. I have about a month and a half before I can take them outside. So let me go around and show you what I have, and then we'll move on to some of the topping video because there's more plants that need to be topped. Also, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to show you guys why you should not cut leaves off from the bottom at a time, and it's better just to top it instead of just cutting few leaves from the bottom, and I will show you why in a little bit. First up is the chocolate Bhutlah that we topped in our last video, and it's making very nice recovery. These are actually third generation leaves because we topped that, the little branch comes out, and these leaves are much stronger than the first generation leaves. So when you take these guys outside, the weather is not going to affect it as much as it would if you take this guy outside. This is a first generation leaf. They're very plump. Look, they're huge, but they're very weak. These are second, third generation leaves, so the weather or the condition outside would not affect the plant as much if you take it outside. So it doesn't need as much of a hardening process as some of these newer leaves would need. Okay, so that's my chocolate Bhutlah. It's looking very nice. And here are the roots. Look at that. I mean, this is massive. So once you transplant these outside, they will just take off and they will grow very fast. So this is the reason why I love the 2-cup method. Next up is the Jamaican Red Scotch bonnet. There were 2 of these guys that we topped. We cut the top completely off in half, and look at the progress. It's recovering very nicely. There's tons of size shoots, and these are second generation leaves, so as I mentioned, they're very strong. And then this is my other chocolate Bhutlah that we did not top, and I wanted to show you guys another thing where I cut these leaves off one at a time instead of topping it, and as you can see, 2 weeks later nothing here has developed. So the reason for that is the plant is focusing all its energy here to produce new shoots and grow upward instead of growing sides, because the top still remain. So what we should do instead of cutting the leaves off is to cut the top. When you cut the top like this, it'll force the plant to grow sideways. So as you can see, all the leaves down here are missing. I did that on purpose to show you. And the top is split into a Y. I mean, it's sending all of its energy up here to produce more shoots from the top, and it's not growing the side. So today we are going to cut these guys off just like this. I'm not ready for these guys to fruit anyway, so I will be cutting all 3 of these branches down, and then in the next video I will show you that these shoots on the side will bloom much more. Okay, next up is the Butch T Reaper, and I didn't water this guy very well. As you can see, the leaves are drooping over. So when you see that the plants are doing this just like this, if you touch it, it's just like wobbly and very soft. That's because it needs to be watered. So I will water this in a bit and it will recover very fast. Here is my Jamaican Scotch bonnet yellow. It's doing great. I also did another thing. So I did the same thing I did for the other plant. I cut the leaves off at the bottom here, as you can see, and nothing has grown out of this because it's focusing all of its energy on growing more shoots at the top. So today I'm gonna go cut that guy down as well. And then in the next video you will see that it's gonna start to grow a ton of side shoots. So in order for the side shoot to grow, you will have to cut the top, because if you don't, it's gonna keep on growing the top and produce more larger leaves, and the side would just remain bare, just like that. Here is my bleeding Borg 9. It's doing great. From the last video, it's probably double in size. And let me show you the roots. So as I mentioned, if you put liquid down at the bottom, the roots will grow out like that to try to get it. And that's how I train my roots to grow down. Okay. And then next up is the MA Vortex. I start this on the January 8th and it's looking very nice. And the same, I have liquid at the bottom. I just shake this up to get the roots to come out, and there it is right there. And my liquid is at the bottom, not very much, just enough so that the roots can smell the water, and then it'll grow more roots towards the nutrients. And here is my Bahamian Goat, 2 of them, looking nice there. On this cup I have the Trinidad Scorpion Cardi, one of my favorite plants that I couldn't grow last season. So this season I'm gonna make sure this guy will do really well. And let me show you the root system. Check that out, very nice, and it's growing towards the water. Is my Scotch Bonnet Champion. It's growing very well. I mean, look at the size of these leaves. The trunk are nice and sturdy. The nodes are compact, so it's getting really good lights. I'll let it go for a little bit, and I will be topping this guy as well. And then this guy, as I mentioned last time, he was lacking light, so he was stretching. So I fixed the problem, and now the node is still far apart, but the trunk is very nice and thick. So I will be cutting this guy in half today. The node is about this far apart. It's fine as long as the trunk is thick. So that's a good thing. So once it's stretched, if you fix the problem, then the trunk would be nice and thick, and then the tree would be very sturdy, and that's fine. And the reason I'm topping this is because, as I mentioned earlier, I have about 6 weeks before I can take this guy outside. I don't want it to bloom so early, and it's already doing that. And it's also splitting into a Y, and when it's split into a Y, that's the best time to top, and it's also the time when the plants start to bloom. And usually I would top it here, but because I want to delay it further, I'm going to cut it down to here, and I'm going to use the top half of the plant for something else. Maybe I'll graft it on another tree, or I'll just propagate it or something. Okay, next up is my Jay's Peach Ghost. And again, I cut all of the leaves down from the bottom, and as you can see, no shoots are grown to the side because it's focusing all of its energy at the top. So you want the shoots to grow on the side, you have to cut right there. You want to leave a few leaves, just cut it right there, and then the side shoots will grow. I'm gonna do that today, and then in the next video you're gonna see a lot of side shoots for these guys. And I did the same for my Sugar Rush Peach, and as you can see how tall that is, not much side shoots, and it's just focusing all its energy on here. It's starting to bloom now, so today I'm gonna cut this down to here, and then the side shoots will come out next week. I did not mention this to you guys, but you can actually eat the leaves. And when I topped these last week, I saved all the leaves and I put it into a stir fry, and it was delicious. It tastes like spinach. But I don't recommend you guys go out and just eat any pepper leaves. Make sure you do some research. Alright, oops, forgot to show you that one. This is the MOA Scotch Bonnet, and I did the same. I chopped these leaves off. Nothing grows on the side, so I will be cutting this from the top today. Next up is Butch T CPR. Look at this guy. It's looking very nice. A little stretch, but I fixed that problem, so it's gonna be nice and thick pretty soon. I'm gonna chop this guy down. I'm gonna chop all of these guys down today because I'm running out of space. And here's my Reaper. I grow these guys every year, as I mentioned. And next up is my Jay's Red Ghost Scorpion. Look at the size of the leaves. Cut all of these here. Nothing grows from the side. As I mentioned, it's all focusing its energy on the top. So today I'm gonna cut the top off so the size can grow. And my Aji Pineapple. This is actually a very nice variety that I'm very excited about. This variety was given to me by Dave, and Dave grew some beautiful Aji Pineapple on his channel. So make sure you go out there and check it out. He did some reviews on this already, and I'm very excited about this guy because I'm going to make hot sauce out of this season. I topped him already right there, and now it's making great progress. I will be topping this guy one more time today because I need to delay its progress because it's starting to put out buds. Here is my grafted white devil's tail, looking beautiful, very healthy. All of the plants are just growing like crazy. I mean, it grows like an inch a week, and I don't have any more space left for these guys, so I have to just squeeze them in. And you see how it looks like this? That's because the other plant is pushing it like this when I ran out of space. So this one is MA Vortex. I have 6 of these. There's the other one, same thing. And as you can see how it's leaning towards one side because the other plant is pushing against it. I'm out of space. And then this one, I made a mistake and put the label inside. Is my Jay's Peach Ghost Scorpion times Chocolate Ghost. I'm very interested to see what this guys look like. This is given to me by Wayne, Mr. Batman on G+. And finally, I have my 7-pot bubblegum. These guys are beautiful variety, so I'm also very excited about him. I have 3. I divided one out. I'm going to give this to a friend, and the other 2 I'm going to keep. So that's all I have that's growing. And then let me show you the clone. So I cut this guy in basically down to half. I just chopped it everywhere around to make it smaller because I just don't have any more space. It was just shooting out way to here, so I just had to cut it off. And I'm getting fruits from this guy every single day, so every time I pull one off, the next one ripen. Here's some of the harvest that I have. These guys are just absolutely gorgeous. So the fruits of these are very interesting. It'll start out light green, then it becomes dark green, and it will turn a very bright yellow color, and then when it fully ripens it turns into sort of like an orange color, which is very, very beautiful. I mean, it's a gorgeous plant. So you guys, if you are looking to grow some interesting variety, try the MOA Scotch Bonnet. It is one of my favorite. I love this thing, and I will grow this every season from here on. Okay, that's all I have going on. The next thing I would do is I will be topping more of these plants. So let me show you how I do that. Okay, first up to be topped is my BTR, the Butch T times Reaper. And this guy is just so tall, and I will be cutting this guy down to half. It's gonna look crazy, but it has to be done because I just don't have any more space. So here we go. I will cut this guy around right there. Actually more than half, so the whole thing here. And then, as I mentioned, you can just cut some of these leaves away. You don't have to leave too much leaves left. Just enough for the plant to produce photosynthesis. There you go. So 3 leaves left for the plant. Next here is my chocolate Bhutlah, and as I mentioned, nothing is growing from the sides because it's focusing all of its energy on the top. So in order for the sides to grow, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it like that, and cut it right here and right here. Look at that. That's how much that's how much I'm cutting off, and there's really not much of the plants left. So this guy has been topped twice already. So when it grows back, the leaves are going to be super strong, and when it goes outside, I don't have to go through the hardening process too much. It'll grow just fine. And next up is the Jay's Red Ghost Scorpion, and as you can see, nothing is growing from the side. So what I'm going to do is cut that guy like that. And here it is. There's no need for you guys to see all of this. I'm going to continue to cut all of this down, and then I will show you what the results look like. Alright, I have cut all of my plants down, and look at all of these leaves that I've cut off the plants. Let me show you what they look like now. This one is the same. I didn't do anything to that. Here's my chocolate Bhutlah. Chopped the entire 3 branches down, and in the next update you will see all of these side shoots will come back. And look at how drastic that one looks. The Jamaican Scotch Bonnet yellow. I just leave 1 leaf of each. This is my Butch T CPR. Aji Pineapple. Look, cut everything off almost. And my BTR, the very nice and big plant. That's all that's left of it. Here's another 2 BTR, just 1 leaf of each. Looking crazy. This is my grafted white devil's tail. Cut that off as well. Sugar Rush. That's what's left of that. Jay's Peach Ghost. MOA Scotch Bonnet. Not much left there. Jay's Red Ghost Scorpion. That's all that's left of that. Alright, so pretty much these are going into my compost pile, and I will be stir frying some of it. And again, make sure to do some research before you consume this. But anyway, that's all there is to this update. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.